I'm not the 11-year-old I was when you first moved to Bel-Air.
And they could strike at any time. And they love teenage flesh. So
Thanks, but I'll risk it.
In an exclusive tell-all revelation, Tatiana Ali, best known for her iconic role as Ashley Banks on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, opens up about some of the most shocking and untold stories from the hit 90s sitcom. For years, fans have speculated about the behind-the-scenes drama and secrets that shaped the beloved series. And now, Ali is pulling back the curtain on what really went on in the making of The Fresh Prince. From hidden tensions to the challenges of navigating fame at a young age, this is the juicy insider scoop you won't want to miss. Fans of The Fresh Prince have Tatiana Ali to thank for her courage in revealing this secret about Will Smith. According to her, Will Smith was forced to star in the movie because he owed the IRS $2.8 million. Reportedly, in the late 1980s, Smith's rise in music brought significant wealth, but his lack of financial literacy led to disastrous money management. Smith spent extravagantly without considering the tax implications of his newfound riches. Unpaid income taxes began to pile up, and eventually the Internal Revenue Service, IRS, came knocking. By the time Smith realized the gravity of his financial situation, he owed the government a staggering $2.8 million. The IRS seized his possessions and garnished his income, leaving him teetering on the edge of bankruptcy. The financial strain forced Smith to reassess his career options. Enter Quincy Jones, the legendary producer who, along with TV producer Benny Medina, offered Smith the role of a lifetime in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Medina's semi-autobiographical concept resonated with Smith, as it mirrored his own journey of navigating two worlds, the affluence of stardom and the grounded reality of his roots in Philadelphia. Though hesitant at first, having little acting experience and viewing himself primarily as a musician, Smith accepted the role out of necessity. Smith's gamble paid off. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air premiered in 1990 and became an instant hit. The sitcom's clever blend of humor, heartfelt family dynamics, and cultural commentary turned Smith into a household name. Behind the scenes, however, Smith's financial troubles still loomed large. For the first 3 years of the show, 70% of his paycheck went straight to the IRS to settle his tax debt. This arrangement not only kept him afloat, but also provided the stability and exposure he needed to pivot his career toward acting. Another surprise about Will Smith that Tatiana Ali revealed was that he made the entire audience cry, sparking rumors about his relationship with his father. Papa's got a brand new excuse. An episode from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is often hailed as the series' most emotionally charged moment. The episode tackled themes of abandonment, fatherhood, and resilience with unflinching honesty, culminating in a scene that has resonated with audiences for decades. At the heart of this unforgettable moment is a performance from Will Smith that showcased his raw emotional depth and acting talent, solidifying his place as more than just a comedic actor. In the episode, Lou, Will's estranged father, resurfaces after a 14-year absence, only to disappoint him once again by leaving just as they begin to reconnect. The episode builds up to the climactic moment when Lou walks away, and Will, trying to maintain his composure, ultimately breaks down in Uncle Phil's arms. The emotional weight of the scene rests on Smith's powerful monologue, where he expresses feelings of rejection and inadequacy. Many fans have speculated that the monologue was ad-libbed by Smith, with rumors suggesting that he channeled personal pain from being abandoned by his own father. However, this widely shared narrative is not accurate. Smith's relationship with his father was actually loving and supportive, though not without its challenges. In interviews, he has described his parents as typical, emphasizing that they were invested in his education and future, even if they didn't initially support his dreams of a music career. His father, Willard Carroll Smith Sr., played a significant role in shaping Smith's work ethic and discipline. The emotional resonance of the scene, therefore, stems not from personal experience, but from Smith's exceptional ability to embody and convey the raw pain of the character he portrayed. The moment became even more poignant due to Smith's decision to ad-lib parts of the scene. According to reports from those who were present, including a member of the live audience, the atmosphere during the taping was unusually somber. "I was actually at the taping," recalled an audience member. "The entire show was quiet, even during the funny parts, and I could not figure out why. Before this scene, Will Smith disappeared. He showed up, did this scene in one take, then disappeared again. The sense of anticipation and gravity was palpable, even to a 10-year-old in the audience. One particularly striking detail is that Smith's baseball cap comes off during the scene, a subtle deviation that would usually prompt the director to call for a retake. However, the sheer authenticity and emotional power of Smith's performance rendered retakes unnecessary. "Really, nothing could replace this moment," the audience member continued. "People were crying for a long time when it was over, doing their best not to make noise before the director said, 'Cut.'" In addition, according to Tatiana Ali, Will Smith was embarrassed by his acting in The Fresh Prince. What do you think about this? Before The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air turned him into a household name, Will Smith was far from the seasoned A-list actor we know today. In fact, his acting experience prior to the show was limited to a single ABC after-school special. The role, which hardly garnered any significant attention, was far from the kind of high-profile platform that would launch a Hollywood career. However, in the early 1990s, Smith was thrust into the world of acting under vastly different circumstances, one that was largely motivated by financial need rather than passion for the craft. At the time, Smith was deep in debt, facing the consequences of his poor financial decisions, particularly regarding his unpaid taxes. The IRS had seized his belongings, and the mounting pressure to pay off his $2.8 million debt was overwhelming. He was desperate for a way out, and when the opportunity to star in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air came along, it offered a lifeline, albeit one that required him to jump headfirst into a career that was still relatively new to him. Smith admits that when he first joined the cast of the show, he was an acting novice, and his lack of experience was evident. "I was trying so hard," Smith recalled about his early days on the show. "I would memorize the entire script, then I'd be lipping everybody's lines while they were talking." This admission speaks to the immense pressure he felt as he tried to fit into the role of Will, a character that required both comedic timing and emotional depth. Smith's lack of confidence in his abilities as an actor made the learning curve especially steep. Rather than letting the lines come naturally, he would go over them repeatedly in his head, hoping to deliver the perfect performance. But this effort often led to awkwardness on screen, as Smith struggled to find his rhythm with the other actors. In fact, Smith himself is candid about how painful it was to watch his early performances. "When I watch those episodes, it's disgusting," he said. "My performances were horrible." These early moments were the result of raw talent, no doubt, but also a lack of formal training and experience. Unlike many actors who take years of acting classes and hone their skills before landing major roles, Smith was thrust into the spotlight without a comprehensive understanding of how to truly perform. His discomfort with his own performances during the early seasons is understandable, considering the pressure of being the lead on a hit television show at such a young age, with little experience to draw from. The secrets about Will Smith don't stop there. Tatiana Ali revealed that Smith and Jazzy Jeff has filed a lawsuit against their record label over The Fresh Prince. By the time Will Smith signed on to star in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, he was already a well-established star in the music world. Alongside his longtime friend and collaborator, DJ Jazzy Jeff, Jeff Towns, Smith had earned Grammy Awards for their work as the hip-hop duo DJ Jazzy Jeff and The Fresh Prince. Their success in the late 1980s and early 1990s was marked by groundbreaking hits like Parents Just Don't Understand and Summertime, both of which became cultural staples. The duo's playful, accessible style of rap, often infused with humor and storytelling, resonated deeply with audiences. But what many people didn't realize at the time was that the Fresh Prince television series, which Smith was joining to boost his financial standing amid mounting tax troubles, would also end up serving as a springboard for the duo's music career in ways they never anticipated. As the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air became an enormous success, Smith and Towns found themselves in an unprecedented position. They were now famous not only for their music, but also for their roles on the hit television show. This synergy between music and TV helped to elevate both their individual careers and the success of DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Their visibility on television, paired with their established music careers, allowed them to promote their work in ways that no other hip-hop artists at the time had the platform to do. One notable instance of this crossover occurred when DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince released the iconic music video for their summer anthem, Summertime. The video premiered at the end of a Fresh Prince episode, an innovative marketing move that connected the two worlds seamlessly. The result was nothing short of a viral moment, as the video garnered an astonishing 3 million views almost overnight. This was a massive achievement, especially considering the era, before the rise of social media and streaming platforms, when traditional music video launches were the primary way to promote singles. However, this bold crossover wasn't without its complications. While fans loved the synergy between Smith's budding acting career and his music, his label, Jive Records, was less than thrilled. According to DJ Jazzy Jeff, the label's leadership was wary of the duo's growing fame in television and entertainment. They were concerned that Smith and Towns were shifting their focus away from music. Jive realized if these guys want to stop doing music, they can because they have another form of income, Towns explained. The label's fear was that the massive success of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air could signal the end of their music careers and threaten their financial interests. They didn't want Smith and Towns to abandon their primary focus, music, because the TV show gave them a lucrative backup plan. The tension between the duo's blossoming acting careers and their commitments to music eventually led to a lawsuit with Jive Records. The label argued that their extracurricular activities, especially Smith's focus on the television series, were interfering with their ability to produce new music and albums. DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, however, felt that they were fully capable of balancing both pursuits and pushing their music forward while still fulfilling their obligations on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Despite the struggles with their label, the duo's ability to juggle both music and television ultimately worked in their favor. While Jive Records may have been concerned about the distraction, Smith and Towns were using their fame on TV to keep their music relevant and to create buzz. As time passed, the label's concerns about Smith's potential departure from music seemed increasingly unfounded. In fact, both Smith and Towns flourished in their respective careers. Towns, who had long been a talented DJ and producer, continued to carve out a successful path in the music industry, with his influence as a producer continuing to grow. Smith, on the other hand, went on to become a global superstar, not only in music but also in film, starring in massive blockbusters like Independence Day, 1996, Men in Black, 1997, and The Pursuit of Happiness, 2006. By the late 1990s and early 2000s, Smith was firmly established as one of Hollywood's biggest stars, and his music career took a back seat. But the foundation for his crossover success had already been set with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Ironically, what Jive Records feared most, Smith's departure from music in favor of television and film, never came to fruition. Instead, Smith continued to make music as a solo artist, releasing albums like Big Willie Style, 1997, and Willennium, 1999, which both went multi-platinum. He managed to thrive as both a rapper and a movie star, proving that the two careers could coexist and complement each other. The impact of the Fresh Prince TV show was undeniable, giving Smith the platform to experiment with new forms of entertainment and to leverage his visibility to further his music career. Meanwhile, Townes became a respected figure in the world of hip-hop production, cementing his legacy not just as a member of a successful duo, but as an industry titan in his own right. If it weren't for Tatiana Ali, perhaps no one would know the secret about the big conflict between Aunt Viv and Will Smith. Janet Hubert, the original Aunt Viv from NBC's The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, has long been vocal about her dissatisfaction with her time on the show, particularly with her co-star Will Smith. Their relationship was marred by a mix of personal and professional issues, and much of Hubert's resentment stems from her perception that Smith, by this point a rising star, failed to support his fellow cast members, particularly in negotiations regarding their salaries. Hubert's departure in 1993, after 3 seasons, was attributed to this friction, and she was ultimately replaced by Daphne Reid. But it wasn't just about on-set disagreements. It was about the larger dynamics of the show, the power structure, and Hubert's sense of being undervalued. The core of Hubert's frustration seems to revolve around the way she was treated during the show's early years, and one of the most pointed criticisms she has aimed at Will Smith is his failure to help his castmates negotiate better wages. In 2016, Hubert aired her grievances in an online video, revisiting the time when The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was being renewed for its later seasons. She described how she approached Smith, believing that with his growing influence as the show's breakout star, he could have helped the cast secure raises. She recalled going to Smith with the hope that, with you, maybe we can get a little raise, highlighting the disparity between their earnings. Hubert, alongside her co-stars, had hoped that Smith, being the show's lead and the most recognizable star, could use his leverage to push for higher salaries for the rest of the cast, just as the ensemble cast of Friends had been able to do years later. However, Hubert claimed that Smith did not intervene, leaving the cast to fend for themselves in negotiations. Hubert's frustration wasn't just about the money, but about the apparent lack of solidarity among the cast. She felt that Smith, who by that point was an emerging A-list actor, had a responsibility to look out for those who helped make the show a success, but ultimately failed to do so. This sentiment was exacerbated by Hubert's belief that Smith's rise to stardom was in part due to the work of the ensemble cast, work that she felt was undervalued. For his part, Will Smith has generally remained tight-lipped about these tensions. But it's clear that the issues between him and Hubert were deeply personal. The relationship was reportedly strained on set, with Hubert allegedly accusing Smith of being immature and difficult to work with. According to some sources, Smith's increasing popularity and his growing influence on the show led to him becoming more difficult to collaborate with, adding to the animosity between the two. This tension was reportedly one of the factors that led to Hubert's eventual exit from the series, a move that resulted in a sudden recasting of the character of Aunt Viv, a pivotal role on the show. In response to Hubert's accusations, Will Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, took to the airwaves to defend her husband. In a 2016 radio interview, Jada accused Hubert of having been angry for years, citing a conversation in which Hubert allegedly expressed resentment over Smith's rapid rise to fame. Jada claimed that Hubert had referred to Smith as a snotty-nosed punk who was given a show after being in the business for 10 years, a statement that suggested Hubert saw Smith's success as undeserved or unfair. Jada went on to suggest that Hubert's desire to be the focal point of the show was a significant part of the friction, as she allegedly wanted The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air to be rebranded as the Aunt Viv of Bel-Air show. Jada also pointed out that Hubert's financial decline after leaving the show may have fueled some of her bitterness. She has basically gone from $250,000 a year to nothing. She's mad now, but she's been mad all along, Jada said, framing Hubert's anger as a result of a sense of personal and professional loss. Hubert, in turn, has never shied away from discussing her financial struggles after leaving the show. She's been open about the challenges she faced in the aftermath of her departure, both professionally and personally. Her career trajectory was altered dramatically, and her absence from the show was felt by fans. Despite her prominent role as the original Aunt Viv, Hubert's career faltered in the years that followed, and she has pointed to the fallout from her Fresh Prince exit as a significant factor in her later struggles. Speaking of Janet Hubert, there is also a big secret that Tatiana Ali revealed. There were rumors that Janet was fired from the show because she was pregnant. Indeed, the departure of Janet Hubert from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air in 1993 has been a subject of intrigue and speculation for years. While the widely accepted narrative points to tensions between Hubert and Will Smith as the primary cause of her exit, there are alternate theories that suggest a different, more personal reason for her departure. One of the most discussed theories is that Hubert's pregnancy played a significant role in her being replaced halfway through the show's six-season run, with some sources suggesting that her pregnancy voided a clause in her contract, leading to her exit and eventual replacement by Daphne Reid as Aunt Viv. In order to understand the full context of Hubert's departure, it's important to look at the timeline of events and the factors that contributed to her leaving the show. Hubert was a key part of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air during its early years, playing the no-nonsense, strong-willed Aunt Viv. Her character was an essential part of the show's family dynamic, and Hubert's portrayal of Aunt Viv earned her a place in television history as one of the standout characters of the early 1990s sitcom era. However, the atmosphere behind the scenes was far from harmonious. Reports indicate that Hubert had a difficult relationship with her co-star Will Smith, who had risen to fame quickly after the show began. As Smith's popularity grew, so did his influence on the direction of the show. It's been widely reported that Hubert felt sidelined by Smith's growing prominence and that tensions between the two escalated over time. The exact nature of their conflict has been a topic of debate, but Hubert has spoken candidly about how she felt she was treated unfairly on set and how her character's development took a back seat to Smith's rise as the show's lead. In interviews, she has claimed that the behind-the-scenes environment became increasingly difficult, particularly as she felt that Smith's increasing star power led to him becoming more difficult to work with. However, while the interpersonal tensions between Hubert and Smith are often cited as the main reason for her departure, a lesser-known theory has emerged over the years that Hubert's pregnancy was the true catalyst for her exit from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. According to some reports, Hubert became pregnant during the production of the show, and this led to complications regarding her contract. At the time, Hubert's pregnancy was said to have caused problems with her shooting schedule, and it's alleged that a clause in her contract could not be fulfilled because of her condition. It's said that, at the time, there were certain expectations in the entertainment industry for how pregnancies would be handled on set. In some cases, a pregnant actor's contract could be terminated or altered if they were unable to continue working in a way that met the production's needs. Some sources suggest that Hubert's pregnancy was seen as a disruption to the production schedule, especially as the show was already experiencing internal tensions. It's been reported that Hubert's pregnancy caused her to be placed on a leave of absence, and this absence allegedly made it easier for producers to replace her with Daphne Reid, who would go on to play Aunt Viv for the remainder of the show's run. This might be one of the most shocking secrets of Fresh Prince, as Tatiana Ali revealed that it was originally canceled in Season 4. The original ending of Season 4 served as a poignant reflection on the show's central theme, the balance between where you come from and where you belong. In this planned conclusion, Will makes the significant choice to leave the privileged lifestyle of Bel-Air and return to his hometown. It was a narrative decision that could have brought the series full circle, highlighting Will's personal growth and reaffirming his connection to his family and Philadelphia upbringing. However, this ending was met with resistance from fans who had come to love the Banks family dynamic and the way the show skillfully combined humor, heart, and cultural commentary. When NBC announced the cancellation, fans wasted no time expressing their frustration. In the pre-social media era, this meant flooding the network with physical letters, a testament to just how passionately audiences felt about the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Thousands of letters poured into NBC's offices, demanding the network reconsider its decision. Viewers weren't ready to say goodbye to Will, Uncle Phil, Aunt Vivian, Carlton, and the rest of the beloved characters. To NBC's credit, they listened. Executives were reportedly stunned by the sheer volume of fan mail and the intensity of the outcry. The groundswell of support highlighted just how significant the show had become, not just as entertainment, but as a cultural touchstone. Recognizing the opportunity, NBC reversed its decision and renewed The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air for 2 more seasons. This move not only pleased fans but also allowed the show to explore new storylines and deepen its characters' arcs. Also, this will be a shocking secret. Tatiana Ali said Jada Pinkett Smith lost the role of Will's girlfriend because she was too short. Back in the early 1990s, before her breakout role on A Different World and her rise as a Hollywood star, Pinkett Smith auditioned for the role of Will's girlfriend on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. At the time, she was an unknown actor looking to make her mark in the industry. However, her audition didn't go as planned, and she was ultimately passed over for the part. The reason? She was told she was too short to play Will Smith's love interest. The rejection might have stung, but it also set the stage for a much bigger story, one that would unfold years later. Jada herself has reflected on the irony of being deemed unsuitable for the role, humorously noting how life had other plans. "They told me I was too short to play Will's girlfriend, only for me to become his wife," she quipped in later interviews. And indeed, fate had something better in store. The two would meet again and go on to build one of Hollywood's most enduring and high-profile families. After her rejection from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Pinkett Smith's career began to gain traction. She landed a role on the hit sitcom A Different World, a spin-off of The Cosby Show, where she showcased her talent and charisma. The role not only made her a recognizable face in Hollywood, but also helped her transition into film. By the mid-1990s, she had become a bona fide movie star, with standout performances in films like Menace to Society, 1993, Jason's Lyric, 1994, and Set It Off, 1996. Her rising star power and reputation for delivering nuanced performances placed her in an entirely different league. Interestingly, as Jada Pinkett Smith's career soared, the producers of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air came knocking once again. They reportedly reached out to her with an invitation to return to the show, this time as a guest star, perhaps to finally play the romantic interest that had eluded her years earlier. But this time, the tables had turned. Pinkett Smith declined the offer with a confident and cheeky response. "No, I'm a movie star. I don't have time." It was a definitive moment of self-assurance, reflecting how far she had come since her days as an aspiring actor. Her refusal to return to the show didn't affect her relationship with Will Smith, though. The two met on the Fresh Prince set when Jada auditioned, and their paths crossed again in 1994 when she was working on A Different World. By then, Will was in the process of divorcing his first wife, Sherry Zampino, with whom he shares a son, Trey. Sparks flew between Jada and Will, and their relationship quickly blossomed. They married in 1997, forming a powerhouse partnership that would redefine the concept of a Hollywood power couple. What do you think about The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air secrets revealed by Tatiana Ali? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.